Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be discussing the differences between a DSLR or mirrorless camera and a point and shoot camera. Some of the things are super obvious, like the size of the camera, but there are some other things that aren't quite as obvious, and we will be going into both today. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Kayla Brent. I'm a motherhood photographer and founder of Mom Photography School, where I teach moms how to take gorgeous everyday photos of their families. And one of the biggest tech questions that I get asked is, why do you not use a point and shoot much, Kayla? Or what's the difference between your DSLR and your point and shoot? And that is exactly what I'm going to be answering today. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know in the comments before we get going, what camera are you shooting with? Do you have a point and shoot camera or do you have a DSLR camera? I would love to know. Before I dive in to the differences between a DSLR and a point and shoot camera, I want to make it clear that I can only compare based off of the point and shoot I have and the DSLR I have. Now, there's a wide range of point and shoot cameras. There are some that are really fantastic, and there are some that are no good at all. And same with DSLRs. There are some DSLRs that are thousands upon thousands of dollars, and there's also really lower end DSLRs. So this could change. The things I say today could change based on the DSLR or the point and shoot you have, but I am going to be telling you based off the point and shoot I have and the DSLR I have used. The point and shoot I have, I will post an image of it here. I actually am using it at this very moment to record this video. It's a vlogging camera, but it's also a point and shoot camera. So I'll be comparing that, and I will be comparing it with my DSLR, which is a Nikon D610. I have actually upgraded since then to a Sony mirrorless, but I use that Nikon for at least 6 years. And so since I've used that one the most, that's what I'm going to be comparing it against. First, and the most obvious difference between a point and shoot and a DSLR is size. A point and shoot is the size of an iPhone or thereabout. They're thicker, but they're roughly around this size, where a DSLR is very bulky and it's a lot heavier. So that is the most obvious difference between a DSLR and point and shoot. A point and shoot, you can literally put it in your pocket and go, while is a DSLR, you need to have not only the bulky body, but also a lens to go with it. The next big difference between a point and shoot and a DSLR is the quality of the image. Now, this is one of those things where it changes based off of the point and shoot you have and based off the DSLR you have. Now, with my point and shoot and my DSLR camera, the specs are very close. There's not that huge of a difference, but I have a very good point and shoot camera. I have linked below the blog post that can give you all the specs of my cameras, and I'm not going to go all into that here. But typically a DSLR has a much higher quality of an image. So if you want to do print something and make it really big, I highly recommend you get a DSLR camera for that rather than a point and shoot. Now, I will say there are some point and shoots that have come a long way, including the one I have. It's a very nice Sony point and shoot. Again, I have that linked below if you're interested in it. But for most point and shoots, the quality of the image is way lower than most DSLRs. Next up is ease of use. Which one is easier to use, a DSLR or a point and shoot? Well, before I answer that question, we have to kind of dive into the difference between auto mode and manual mode. If you are just shooting these cameras in auto mode, so essentially the camera's picking all of the settings for you, both cameras operate pretty much the same. You put it in auto and you take a picture. That is it. Now, if you're wanting to shoot manual mode, which not all point and shoots can do, but some of them can, and mine can shoot in manual mode. However, it's not exactly easy to shoot my point and shoot in manual mode. It's a point and shoot, like you're just supposed to click a button. However, it can be shot in manual mode, but it doesn't have all the dials like a DSLR does for shutter speed and for aperture. It's a lot harder to navigate manual mode on a point and shoot camera. So as far as shooting in manual, definitely you're gonna want a DSLR for that. If you were just shooting in auto, well, you're gonna get about the same results from both cameras. You just hit the button and take the picture, but that's also about the same quality that you'll get with the camera on your phone. A final thought here is a DSLR camera versus a point and shoot camera. There really is no winner. It all comes down to preference and what you're looking for in a camera. For me personally, if I am taking a picture of my kids that I plan to put on the wall or in an album, I am definitely going to use my DSLR or mirrorless camera for that, because of the ease of use for manual mode, which I highly recommend. If you have a DSLR or mirrorless camera, learn how to use it in manual mode. But that and the quality of the image. The point and shoot camera is more like vacation photos, just candid photos, that kind of thing. I really don't want to take a big, huge, bulky something, afraid that it's going to get broke, or I just don't want to carry it around because of the weight. So it really comes down to size and the quality of the image and what you're doing. So what are we taking pictures of? That is the first thing to consider when grabbing a point and shoot or a DSLR. So there you have it, my take on the DSLR versus the point and shoot. If you have any more questions at all, please comment them down below. I would love to answer them. Until next time, friends, I will see you in the next video.